Have you ever stopped and thought about how some sentences just seem more alive? How they give you not just facts, but, feeling, nuance?
Yeah, it's like there's a secret ingredient in there somewhere.
Exactly, like a chef finding that one thing that takes a dish from good to, wow, unforgettable.
It's so true. We focus a lot on the big words, the nouns and verbs, right? But often the real magic is in the smaller bits, the ones we might overlook. They add the texture, the flavor.
And today, that's what we're diving into. One of those super powerful, but maybe underestimated parts of speech, adverbs.
Ah, adverbs, yes.
These are the words that don't just add meaning, they kind of shape it. They let you paint a much clearer picture. They answer those key questions, like how something happens, or when, or where.
Or even how much, right? To what extent.
Right. So our mission, really, for this deep dive is to give you a solid, kind of intuitive feel for adverbs.
Yeah, we'll look at what they actually are, how they work in a sentence, the different types you'll run into.
And crucially, some common mistakes people make. Things that can trip you up.
Definitely. And then we'll give you some practical ways, some actual strategies to start using them more naturally in your own English.
Think of it as like a shortcut to sounding more fluent, more expressive.
Okay, so let's break it down. What is an adverb, fundamentally?
Well, at its core, it's a word that modifies. That means it describes or gives more info about a verb, an adjective, or even another adverb.
Sounds a bit technical, maybe.
It can sound that way, but the main idea is pretty simple. Adverbs are mostly about how an action happens, the quality of it.
Exactly. And you really see their power when you compare. Like if I just say, he runs, okay, fine, basic fact. But if I say, he runs quickly, suddenly you get this image, this sense of speed.
Yeah, or she speaks softly. That one word changes everything about her voice. It adds gentleness, maybe, or secrecy.
Right. Even something like they arrived late. It's not just that they arrived, it's the timing. It implies something, doesn't it?
It does. Punctuality, or maybe something held them up. So they add detail, clarity.
Definitely depth. They answer those key questions.
Okay, so let's tick those off. The questions adverbs answer. You mentioned how.
Yep. Like slowly, loudly. That's the manner. How was it done?
And when. That's time, right? Like now, yesterday, soon.
Exactly. Gives you the temporal context. Then there's where.
Here, outside, everywhere, that sort of thing. Pinpoints the location.
And how often. This is about frequency.
Always. Sometimes never. Patterns, habits.
And the last one, which I think is really powerful, is to what extent.
Ah, like very too, almost. The intensity modifiers.
Yes. These little words, very almost, they do so much work. They amplify, they diminish, they let you convey, effort or judgment or just how much of something. It's subtle, but really important.
So they add that depth and clarity. That's the aha moment, really.
It is. They're the words that bring sentences to life.
Okay, so with that groundwork, let's dig into the main types. There are 5, right?
Generally, we talk about 5 main categories. Knowing these helps you spot them and use them better.
First up.
Adverbs of manner. These are all about how something is done.
And you mentioned a lot of these end in at really.
That's a common pattern, yeah? Like quickly, slowly, happily, badly. Think about, she danced gracefully.
Okay.
That word gracefully, it tells you how she danced. It adds elegance, fluidity, changes the whole picture.
Makes sense. Next type.
Adverbs of time. These answer when. Pretty straightforward.
Like now, later, yesterday, soon already?
Exactly. So I'll call you tomorrow. That tomorrow pins down the time. Adds commitment, maybe.
Got it. Then we have adverbs of place. These tell us where.
Yep. Here, there, everywhere, outside, nearby. Common ones.
Like the kids are playing outside.
Right. Outside sets the scene, tells you the location. No ambiguity.
Okay, number 4.
Adverbs of frequency. How often does something happen?
Right, always. Usually, often, rarely, never.
Perfect. So if you say, I always drink coffee in the morning, that always tells you it's a habit, a regular thing, not just once. It's a pattern.
And the last one, number 5.
Adverbs of degree. These tell us to what extent or how much.
The intensity ones again. Very to almost, enough, completely.
Exactly. You hear these constantly. She's very tired, or I almost missed the bus.
Okay.
And here's an important point. Sometimes an adverb can actually fit into more than one category. It depends on the context.
So it's not always rigid boxes.
Not always. Context is key, really. But knowing these 5 gives you a great framework
And understanding these helps you kind of tune into the rhythm of English, doesn't it? Because they're everywhere in conversation.
Absolutely everywhere. Often we don't even notice how much work they're doing. Let's take a quick listen to a bit of dialogue, see how they pop up naturally.
Okay.
So person A asks, "Did you finish the project?"
Right.
Person B replies, "Almost. I'm working on the last part now."
Okay, almost and now.
Then A says, "You always leave things until the last minute."
Ouch, always.
And B defends themselves. "That's not true. I usually finish early."
Okay, usually and early. So yeah, they're packed in there.
There really are. You had almost, that's degree. Now is time. Always and usually are frequency. And early functions like time, but it also kind of implies efficiency, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. They really shape the meaning and the flow.
Definitely. Okay, so let's talk about common mistakes, because avoiding these is a big step towards clarity.
Good idea. What's a frequent one?
One of the biggest is mixing up adjectives and adverbs.
Ah, yes. Like hearing someone say, "She sings beautiful." It just sounds off.
Exactly. It should be, "She sings beautifully." The rule is pretty simple when you get it. Adverbs describe how the verb happens.
Whereas adjectives describe nouns, like a beautiful song.
Precisely. Beautiful describes the noun song. Beautifully describes the verb things. It's about the action.
Okay, what's another pitfall?
Oh, this next one. This one gets everyone at some point. Hard versus hardly.
Oh yeah, that tripped me up for ages. You hear people say, "He works hardly," which is wrong.
Completely wrong. And this is such a great aha moment. The correct way is, "He works hard." Because hard can be an adverb,
Right.
but hardly, and this is the kicker, means something totally different. It means almost not at all.
Whoa, okay, so it's basically the opposite.
Exactly. It's like its evil twin just waiting to confuse you. Saying, "I work hardly" is probably not the message you want to send your boss.
Definitely not. It changes the entire meaning. That's a crucial one. Okay, what else?
Incorrect placement is another common one, like, "I late went to school."
Yeah, sounds clunky, unnatural.
It does. It should be, "I went to school late." Generally, you put the adverb after the verb or sometimes at the end of the sentence.
So the basic rule holds: adjectives for nouns.
And adverbs for pretty much everything else. Verbs, adjectives, other adverbs. That's the guiding principle.
Okay, so we understand the rules, we know the pitfalls. How do we actually get better at using them? How do we make it natural?
Right. Practice is key. We've got some practical tips you can start using right away. First, just try describing your own actions out loud as you're doing things.
Okay, narrate my life.
Kind of like, "I'm walking slowly because I'm tired." Or maybe, "I need to reply soon." It helps embed the pattern.
Makes sense. Builds muscle memory.
Another thing, pay attention when you're watching TV shows or movies in English.
With subtitles on.
Yeah, subtitles help.
Yeah.
Listen for those common adverbs, really. Just already, never. Notice how they're used, the nuance they add. You'll start hearing them everywhere.
Great tip.
You can also actively practice transforming sentences. Take one with an adjective.
Like, he is a quick worker.
Perfect. And change it to use an adverb. So that becomes...
He works quickly.
Exactly. Try spotting those opportunities in things you read or hear. Could this be said with an adverb instead?
That's a good exercise. What else?
Well, you can make little adverb banks. Group them by type, manner, time, place, frequency, degree.
Like study lists.
Yeah, but then actively try to make sentences using words from each list. It really cements the categories and their uses.
Okay, practical. One more.
A really simple one for frequency adverbs. Ask and answer how often questions. Ask yourself, how often do I read?
And answer with an adverb?
Yep. I usually read before bed. Or I rarely read fiction nowadays. It just gets you using them.
Great tips. So let's wrap this up. We've covered quite a bit today.
We have. We looked at what adverbs actually are, those 5 main types.
Saw them in action and conversation, highlighted those common mistakes like hard versus hardly.
Right. And gave you some concrete ways to practice using them more naturally.
And the big takeaway really is how much these words do. They add precision, they add tone, they add meaning.
Absolutely. Mastering them really helps you sound more fluent, more expressive. They add layers to your communication. They're your friends.
They really are. So, okay, if adverbs are defining how and when things happen, adding all this detail, think about this. What about those other little words? The ones that define the relationships between things?
The connectors.
Maybe. Those tiny words that link ideas, places, times. The ones that often cause, well, quite a bit of confusion, but you absolutely need them for clarity. What do you think those might be, and why are they so often tricky? Something to ponder.